CTV Channel 6 is proud to present the Roundtable. What's happening in the city, what's going to be coming up in the city. Roundtable gives us a chance to sit down with some celebrities, public officials, people who are important to the community.
My fifth term.
Yeah, 5.5 months as the sheriff.
We were a public agency.
We needed a program where we could have a little more in-depth time, find out more about them, who they are, what they're doing, find out what their thoughts are, and let you have a chance to get to know them a little better.
Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable program. My name is Paul Dingham, and I host this program. Each and every time the program is on, we try and bring you some interesting information about things that are happening in the Blue Water area, things that are happening in Marine City or in St. Clair. Today we've got some special guests who are going to tell us about a wonderful new project which is happening in downtown St. Clair, and the project is called the Clair Courtyard. With us is Lynn Alexander from the Community Foundation. Welcome, nice to see you again.
Thank you.
And Ralph Livingston, a member of the St. Clair Courtyard Task Force. Nice to see you. Welcome to both of you.
Thanks, Paul.
There's some real excitement in St. Clair.
There's a lot happening right now. We're very excited.
Let's go back one or two steps and tell the people how you got to this point.
Sure.
You're involved with the Community Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Ralph's involved in numbers of organizations, the Rotary and other groups. But there's a group of people got together, and what happened? What was the impetus to get you started?
Sure. Well, about 2.5 years ago, we started receiving some major gifts from some donors in the area that have ended up totaling about $8.5 million.
Wow.
So yes, very large gifts. And all of those gifts are restricted to be used to improve the city of St. Clair or the surrounding townships.
Okay.
So we're a very lucky community to have that
Right.
kind of generosity.
That doesn't come down very often.
No, it doesn't. No, it was a good day.
Yes.
It was a good day. So that money is invested, it's permanently endowed, and every year the earnings off of that $8.5 million will be spent in the city of St. Clair, or the surrounding areas. And so that's a different type of gift than a $1,000
Right.
check or a $500 check.
Or a scholarship or...
Yeah. So we, at the Community Foundation, working in conjunction with the donors, went out into the community and said, what can we do with these funds that will help increase the prosperity of St. Clair?
Okay.
Was really the purpose. And we got a lot of input from a lot of different civic groups, individuals, all around town. And the Plaza Courtyard was one of the projects that came up over and over and over again. It's kind of run down looking, it can really be the city center. There's a great view of the river, but it clearly needs some work. And so we took that idea along with a whole menu of other ideas back to the donor. They have an advisory committee over the funds, and they chose to put money into the redevelopment of that courtyard area of the downtown plaza.
Okay, sometimes people say, boy, the mall, the whole thing should be bulldozed, it's great, but other people, they're involved and they own the buildings in there. There's been a lot of complaints about the parking lot. Are those things that maybe be looked at sometime in the future?
It could be. One of the things that's so exciting about this gift being endowed means every single year there's going to be money to spend.
Okay.
So this this redevelopment project is the first project, but in next year or two there's going to be others. And every single time we go to start something, we're going to get input from the community. We're going to go back to the donors to see what they are interested in doing, and it could be a whole variety of things that we address.
Ralph, your involvement?
Well, I was actually honored to be asked to be on the task force. I've been involved in a lot of construction projects here in town, different things through Rotary and Rotary Park and the plazas and the marinas and things like that. So I do have a little history.
And the Little League Park too,
Yep,
right?
the Little League Park was one of our most recent projects. So it just was kind of one of those things that's got me involved and works good for the community. I think it's going to be a great project. There's a lot to be done. We're going to, really be pushing the time schedule. But
When are you guys going to start?
September 8th.
Oh, in unison.
Yep. That is our
When
goal.
will you be completed?
Probably we'll work as long as the weather will permit this year.
Okay.
Our goal is to get all the hard surfaces, the landscape walls, things like that, all of that completed, and we may have to wait until next year for the pretty stuff, the landscaping, the trees, the grass, things like that. But
Okay.
hard surfaces this year.
Maybe we've piqued the audience's imagination now, but let's roll a video here, which the Smith Group, that's out of Ann Arbor,
JJR.
JJR,
Yep.
produced for you guys, and we'll talk over the top of it, but let's take a look at that right now. And this flies us right through it. So you're looking at the overall courtyard. Go ahead, Ralph, tell me what's happening.
You're coming in on the north corner right now, which would be probably
Here.
right up against the Ackett's restaurant there.
Okay.
That's one of the entrances. There will be probably, call it 4 different entrances. There'll be a lot of landscape walls, like seating walls. That'll be along the edges, probably to your right there.
Oh, and there's tables and chairs out
Right,
there?
that'll be kind of a cafe-style seating area on probably a slate surface of some sort. There are some trees there. There's some nice specimen trees that are existing now. We'll probably preserve a lot of those. This area here is like a step down that would go into a, let's say, a common area, plaza area, grass, all grass in there. Those are very shallow steps, and they could be seating areas as well for concerts.
It looks like a fire pit over there. Is that what I see?
There is planned to be 2 fire pits. They'll be a little bit different than what you see in these concept drawings. They're going to have like seating walls around them, around the perimeter, rather than the fencing, but basically the same similar size. With the grades that we're going to have to deal with, there'll probably still going to be some steps at each north and south end, just to maintain the grade that we've got.
I see at the top there, there's a fountain.
There is a water feature scheduled to be in the project. Right now, that's still kind of open to discussion.
We're actually working with the St. Clair Public Art Association to help determine what kind of water feature, water feature / artwork would be there.
That center pavement down here in the red, that's where the performing art, the performing
That's
bands
where everything will be wired for a sound stage to be either portable or brought in, possibly still the county stage and or a portable stage that'll be provided with the plaza for impromptu concerts, weddings, that kind of stuff. That could be taken care of down in the plaza itself.
That's great. There's a lot of work there.
A ton of work. There's a ton of work in there. There's a lot of pieces.
You said you're going to save as many trees as possible, but I know from walking through last Sunday, there are some huge trees in
there are a lot of the larger ones that are going to have to come out,
Well,
but we've got probably 4 of the really nice specimen trees that'll stay there and will be in those cafe areas. There's a couple of nice red maples and some magnolia trees which would work with the landscape design. Some of the larger ones unfortunately will have to come down to generate the open area and open field that we want to project from the buildings out to the river.
I went to right in front of the furniture store. I still call it the furniture store, where the antique shops are now. And I sat there for a few minutes and I looked out to get a perspective and get a feel for what you guys are trying to accomplish. And I was really flabbergasted in the fact you can't see the river from many spots in the plaza.
One of the greatest assets we've got here
Right.
in town, and it's blocked pretty much, and it's just it's overgrowth.
Yep.
A lot of it is. So that'll all be open, and actually where the new pergola will go, the sunshade area, if the seating under there, you'd be able to look straight out onto the river from that point.
Beautiful. Go ahead. Do you have a thought?
Oh, no.
One of the things I think that's important, and we talked about this before we went on the air, is that numbers of years ago, 30 or 40 years ago, there was a project called Urban Renewal, came to St. Clair, and there was a lot of animosity built because people didn't know what was going to happen. And in this case, I think you guys are up front and out forward and out front of the problem to try and get people involved and tell them what's going to go on.
Yeah, we really want to make sure to get the word out. So, come September, October, when people are driving by down River Road, they don't look over and say, oh, I wonder what's happening there. We want people to know. And we have a number of ways to try to get the word out, the show being one of them, obviously. And we're going to do a lot of communication out of our office at the Community Foundation, because this is something I hope people are excited about.
Right.
It's a huge improvement to downtown St. Clair.
There's going to be some temporary inconveniences, things like the St. Clair High School parade.
Yep.
There's some Halloween things that'll have to be moved,
Yep.
but it's only temporary.
It's only temporary, and so far the conversations I've had with the people that run those projects, they understand, and they're excited about bringing it back in a couple of years when it's such a better space. So yeah, a little bit of minor inconvenience, but we're going to do our best to try to minimize that for the merchants and for the people that shop in the plaza or use the plaza for community events as well.
So just to clarify it again, and maybe I'm beating a dead horse, but this is not a project of the cities.
No.
This is not a project of the state of Michigan.
No.
It's not a project of any other municipality
Nope,
or
this is
public
all-
organization.
This is private funding through a philanthropic resident that offered, to help make the city better. The Plaza Association that owns and governs the mall, they owned that property. We went to them, showed them our vision, and they actually gifted the development rights to the Community Foundation.
Wow.
So they're very supportive and on board with the project as well. And we've had some great community input sessions on looking at things like different types of fire features, what kind of water features. So it should be pretty exciting.
To me, it's like the first step. There's been a lot of
Right.
negativism. I didn't pronounce that word right, but a lot of negative talk about St. Clair with the St. Clair Inn closed and the issues surrounding that, and the mall was in bad shape. So this is like the baby step, the first step.
Right, you have to start somewhere,
Right.
And so by making this area more conducive to people coming downtown and spending time, family friendly, view of the river, we really hope that will spur other things to happen as well. We would love to see some of the empty spaces in the plaza, be opened with thriving businesses that add to our downtowns and again, just increase the prosperity of our community.
Maybe some new restaurants.
That's definitely what
Awesome.
we're hoping.
There's a lot of great new people who've moved into the community in the last 4 or 5 years. Gary Coase, who had the Titanic display last year, is here. He's got great ideas, and he's a real mover. Bob Swain, another one. So there's
Fellow
individual-
Rotarian, like the three
Yeah,
of us.
fellow Rotarian. So there's lots of good people who are coming together to make this thing start to move.
Absolutely. There's so much energy right now. And
Yeah.
I can tell you when we worked on the Riverwalk in Port Huron a few years ago, it was the same energy. And you saw a lot of new restaurants opening up. You saw a lot of businesses, refurbishing their outside, adding patio seating. So I feel that same type of momentum here in St. Clair, if not even a little bit more so because we're a smaller community and we do tend to work together a little bit. So I think this is the beginning of many, many great projects to come.
If Logan will cue up the drawing there again, that's one of them. No, let me see the movie again there, Logan. And I just think we'll probably end with that, but it's just so exciting. Can you hit the movie there for me? No? Maybe? Yes? There we go. Yeah. I think that's the end of it. No, is that we're coming into it now. So take us through it again, Ralph.
Well, like I said, this is the north end of it, and you're seeing one of the fire pits on the north side here.
Yep.
Now, keep in mind that this is a conceptual drawing, so some of this is going to be a little bit different, but it's going to come out pretty much the same layout, the same configuration.
The pergola color is
The
one of the main
pergola,
differences.
we did get some nice comments on that, and that's going to look an awful lot like the framework for Marcella's front
So
canopy
more
area.
of a brownish?
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be brown. The legs of it all look exactly like the timber that's on the front of her.
Marcellus?
Yep. So that's going to be changed a little bit. It's not going to be the stark white. It'll be kind of a cantilever, so there's no columns in front that would block the view of any
really?
theater. Yep, there will be no columns. So it'll all be open to the grass area. We're hoping to get the grass area nice and flat so we can, I guess, have different kind of croquet tournaments and bocce tournaments.
Ice skating, maybe?
Possibility
We're
for
working
ice
on that.
skating, yeah.
We're working on the drainage issues for that, but I think we can make it happen.
And this is, the budget for this, as I said before, the bulk of the money came from private donors. We will have the opportunity, probably closer to the spring, to reach out to people in the community that want to add some extra features.
Okay. All right.
Some of the things that have been tossed around are a clock tower, We may have some ways that individuals or businesses can put their name on a fireplace or a fountain. So we hope to be able to do some of the extras with
great.
other community people, stepping up and
Jumping in.
helping.
Right, in public art, we've looked at that
Yeah.
too.
The fountain is not spoken for yet, or?
It is not spoken for yet, no.
Okay.
So,
But you're going to work with the St. Clair Art Association?
to pick out the style and design for it, we'd like to have something unique and something that really speaks to the history of our town versus
Beautiful.
just picking one out of a catalog, for
But
example.
if we had a sponsor for it, we'd obviously be able to shift some
Yep.
of those funds into different things that we could do.
Oh, beautiful, okay. Contact information, how do they get a hold of you, or do they get a hold of Ralph, or what's the procedure?
They can always call the Community Foundation and anytime about any of our projects, but this for sure. Our number is 810-984-4761.
Okay, very good. I think it's exciting. I thank you both for coming. I'm excited about it. I think that the city is going to really get behind it, and hopefully it's the start of lots of wonderful things happening
I think so.
in this nice little community.
Yeah.
Just,
Thank you both for
have
anything
to
else.
pardon our dust for a little while.
No.
So-
Always a pleasure to see both of you. See you Monday. And that's about it for this edition of the Roundtable. Thanks very much. Have people make sure they can watch this on the web. If you've got friends that you want to tell this story to, it's www.watchctv.org, and just click on the tab that says Roundtable, and you'll be able to show this to your friends in Naples, Florida. Have a wonderful week. Talk to you.